Namo Buddhaya. Welcome back to Monks in the Morning from Colombo Dhamma Friends of Mahame Onawa. The monks here are so happy to get to spend time with you now. It's really hard to find people in the world who are interested in learning and practicing the Dhamma. We love that you care enough about your future that you would spend time listening to these Dhamma teachings. Have you ever wished for something? Maybe wished for a special toy or game? Maybe you wished that you could go to a friend's house to play. Maybe you wished that you could be good in sports. Maybe you wish that you would get good marks in school. We wish for things all the time. But does this wishing really work? Can we get what we want just by wishing for it? What do you think? Today, we'll hear a conversation between the Supreme Buddha and the householder Anāthapiṇḍika, where the Buddha talks about 5 things that people often wish for but can't get from wishing. I want you to listen very carefully and memorize the 5 things. I also want you to pay attention to how the Supreme Buddha tells us we can actually get the things that people wish for. We'll also recite the Mahakassapatera Bojjhanga, so get your chanting book ready or click on the show notes link to follow along online. One of the best things we can do to start the day is to go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Then, when we have difficulties or problems today, we can remember to think about what our teacher, the Supreme Buddha, has told us and try and find a solution that matches with the Dhamma. Because the happiness that comes from following the Buddha's instructions lasts a long, long time, even into our next lives. Now let's take the refuges and the precepts. Place your hands together and think about the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha as you chant along with us.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Say after me, I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies. I observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs, with the refuge of the noble triple gem. I observe these precepts for happiness in this life, for rebirth in heaven, to escape from the sufferings of samsara. May it help me. May it be a blessing. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Dear children, once Anāthapiṇḍika, the householder, came to meet Lord Buddha. He venerated the Lord and sat to one side. That was the time the Lord Buddha preached this sutta. The name of the sutta is Pancha Ittha Dhamma. Pancha Ittha Dhamma. The sutta of the 5 things that people long for. The Blessed One said that there are these 5 things people long for. They have a desire for them. They are hopeful of them. And they want these 5 so badly. So they wish for these 5. Hear the 5 and see if you can learn them by heart. The first one is a long life. It's called Ayu in Pali. Second one is beauty. It's called Vanna in Pali. Third one is happiness. It's called Sukha in Pali. Fourth one is being famous and having a lot of friends. It's called Yasa in Pali. Fifth one is birth in heaven, birth in a divine world. It's called Sagga in Pali. Now the Buddha said, even though we wish for these 5, a long life, beauty, happiness, fame and birth in heaven, just by wishing we can't get them. If we want to have these 5, he said, we should work in a way that we would receive them. Now, for instance, take the first one, a long life. If we want to have a long life in upcoming lives, then we must stop killing living beings. That is a merit. And that merit will give us a long life in our next birth and the births to come. Second one is beauty. If we want to be born as a beautiful person, first we should not get angry. Then we should spread loving kindness. That merit will give us beauty. We will be born beautiful. Third one is happiness. The Buddha said, Dinnan Sukha Palang Hoti, which means if we practice generosity, then we can receive happiness. We will receive things that will make us happy. If we give food to others, in our next lives we will receive food and it will make us happy. If we give shelter to others, in our next lives we will have a place to stay and that will make us happy. If we give clothes to others, in our next lives we will receive clothes and it will make us happy. So giving is the method or the way to happiness. And to become a famous person and to have many friends, the thing that we should practice is to have a pleasant mind by looking at other people's success and growth. If there is a student in your class whose grades are higher than yours, you should be happy about his success. If someone is wealthier than you should be happy about his wealth. And there is one more thing that helps us become famous, and that is when we get together and practice giving. That means when we invite others to participate in our almsgivings, as a result of that karma, we will have many friends in our next lives. Fifth one is birth in heaven. You can wish for a birth in heaven, but just wishing is not enough. If we go for refuge to the triple gem, and if we observe the 5 precepts, and if we practice giving, and of course if we meditate, we will create karma that would help us be born in heaven. So, children, by the merit we have gained today, by listening to this Dhamma sermon, we wish you would have the strength to practice these merits, and we wish you would attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Paritta chanting. Now we'll chant the Mahakassapa Bojjhanga Paritta. Do you remember who the Arahant Mahakassapa was? He was the monk disciple who was best among those who promoted the ascetic practices. Things like wearing a robe made from rags, living under a tree, and only going on alms round to get food. Another interesting thing about this Arahant Mahakassapa was that he was the only monk that the Supreme Buddha ever exchanged robes with. In this sutta, the Supreme Buddha teaches the 7 factors of enlightenment, the Bojjhanga, to Mahakassapa when he was very sick. This Dhamma is so powerful that just by listening, the Arahant Mahakassapa immediately recovered from his illness. Today we'll chant the entire sutta in English so we can learn the meaning.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thus have I heard on one occasion. The Blessed One was living in the city of Rajagaha, at the bamboo grove in the squirrel's feeding ground. At that time the Venerable Mahakassapa, who was living in the Pipali cave, was afflicted with the disease, was suffering physically, and was gravely ill. Then the Blessed One, arising from his meditation in the evening, visited the Venerable Mahakassapa, and sat down on the seat made ready for him. Thus seated, the Blessed One spoke to the Venerable Mahakassapa. Well, Kassapa, how is it with you? Are you bearing up? Are you enduring your bodily suffering? Do your pains decrease or increase? Are there signs of your pains decreasing and not increasing? No, Bhante, I am not bearing up. I am not enduring, and the pain is very great. There is a sign not of pains decreasing, but increasing. These 7 factors of enlightenment, Kassapa,
are well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. They lead to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. What are the seven? Mindfulness, the factor of enlightenment, Kassapa, is well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. It leads to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. Investigation of the Dhamma, the factor of enlightenment, Kassapa, is well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. It leads to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. Effort, the factor of enlightenment, Kassapa, is well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. It leads to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. Rapture, the factor of enlightenment, Kassapa, is well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. It leads to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. Rapture, the factor of enlightenment, Kassapa, is well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. It leads to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. Calm, the factor of enlightenment, Kassapa, is well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. It leads to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. Concentration, the factor of enlightenment, Kassapa, is well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. It leads to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. Equanimity, the factor of enlightenment, Kassapa, is well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. It leads to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. These seven factors of enlightenment, Kassapa, are well expounded, cultivated, and fully developed by me. They lead to special knowledge, to realization of the noble truths, and to Nibbana. Most surely, O Blessed One, they are the factors of enlightenment. Most surely, O Sublime One, They are the factors of enlightenment. The Blessed One taught this discourse, and the Venerable Mahakassapa, glad at heart, rejoiced in the Blessed One's explanation. Thereupon the Venerable Mahakassapa recovered from that disease, and that disease of the Venerable Mahakassapa disappeared instantly. Etena satchena suati hotu. By this truth may there be well-being. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Terigata. Verses of Arhat Nuns.
Nun, you made this robe from a red cloth. You can live very happily wearing it. You were freed from lust, just like leaves that were burnt and shriveled in a pot. This verse was said by a certain Arhat nun. I gave up my beloved sons and daughters, my cattle and animals, and my house. I became a nun. Eventually, I also gave up lust and hatred, discarding ignorance and plucking out craving from its root. I became stilled and quenched. This verse was said by Arhat nun Sangha. As the way leading to Nibbana, these 7 aids for enlightenment were taught by the Supreme Buddha. I have developed all of them. I have indeed seen the Blessed One through the Dhamma. This is my final body. Journeying on from birth to birth has ended. There is no longer any existence for me. These verses were said by Arhat nun Jinta. I am very thin, sick, and weak, but still, leaning on a stick, I climbed the mountain, Gijjakuta. I put my bowl aside, turning it upside down, and put my double robe aside as well. I sat on a rock. I tore apart the dark mass of ignorance. These verses were said by Arhat nun Chitta. I was in great pain, weak, with my youth gone, but still, leaning on a stick, I climbed the mountain, Gijjakuta. I put my bowl aside, turning it upside down, and put my double robe aside as well. I sat on a rock. There, my mind was completely released from taints. I have attained the triple knowledge and completed the Buddha's training. These verses were said by Arhat nun Anāthapiṇḍika. Previously, I observed Uposatha keeping 8 precepts. My wish was to be reborn in heaven, but now I eat a single meal. I live with a shaved head, a bowl, and robes. I have removed all defilements from my heart. Now, I no longer wish for a rebirth in heaven. These verses were said by Arhat nun Metta.
It was great to spend time with you again today. We hope that you learned something new. and we really hope that you can use what you learned as you go about the rest of your day. Can you remember the 5 things that the Supreme Buddha said that people wish for but don't usually get? The first one, long life. Second, beauty. Third, happiness. Fourth, fame. And the last one, rebirth in heaven. And the Buddha taught us that just wishing doesn't get us these things. If we want to have them, we have to do the actions that let us get them. For example, if we want to have long life, what do we need to do? We have to give up killing. Things like this are so important, aren't they? Now we know that if we just wish for things, we won't get them. We have to work wisely to collect the types of karma that will get them for us. This is really good news, isn't it? It means that we don't have to waste time wishing for things when we could be working hard with wisdom to get the things that we want. Now let's share merits. Already today, even though it's still early, we've collected lots of merit. We went for refuge to the Triple Gem. You undertook again the 5 precepts. We listened to this sermon. We recited the Mahakassapatera Bojjhanga Sutta. We listened to verses of senior nuns. All these things collecting very powerful good karma into our lives. So now let's share merit. May all heavenly beings rejoice in this merit. May they have happy minds thinking about these wholesome actions. May they soon experience the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May our teacher Lokusoya Hangsa rejoice in this merit. May he have a happy mind thinking about the good actions that we've done. May he soon experience for himself the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may all of our teachers, our friends, our parents, may they all have happy minds thinking about the wholesome actions that we've done. May they soon experience for themselves the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.